When Boris Johnson lifted the national lockdown in July, he made a promise to the doubters, one he perhaps hoped he'd never have to keep.
Let me reassure them and reassure you that we will not hesitate at any stage to put on the brakes.
Now the virus is moving fast, and this week the PM will put his foot down, using his scientific advisers to prepare the ground for a tightening of restrictions once more. But this time around he has a much harder task to persuade the public, his party and even his own cabinet to follow his lead. In the Commons, there is resistance. But facing MPs today, the Health Secretary warning action needs to be taken.
But now, as the virus is spreading once more, we have had to act.
For now, that means a toughening of local lockdown rules in parts of the Midlands and the North West. But more national restrictions are expected.
I've set out today the measures the government is taking so far. We're working right now on what further measures may be necessary, and the Prime Minister will update the House tomorrow with any more action that we need to take.
But some in his party have had enough of being told what to do and are demanding they're given a bigger role to play.
You've got ministers who now for 6 months have been governing by decree in relation to the handling of the coronavirus pandemic. We're in a very different place now, and 6 months on, it really is time that ministers recognised that they need to involve Parliament.
But a bigger role for Parliament in England could slow down decisions, and Nicola Sturgeon is clear Scotland won't be waiting for Westminster.
I need to be absolutely straight with people across Scotland that additional restrictions will almost certainly be put in place in Scotland over the next couple of days. Hopefully this will be with Four Nations alignment, but if necessary, it will have to happen without that.
No waiting for alignment in Northern Ireland. Arlene Foster announcing the introduction of national measures from tomorrow evening.
For every home across Northern Ireland, there will be no mixing of households indoors, with exemptions for bubbling with one other household.
Locked in number 10 with his closest advisers, the Prime Minister's now facing very difficult judgment calls about how to deal with the second wave of coronavirus and what measures he should put in place to try to stem the tide. He has to weigh up the public health risk against the political and economic fallout of an even partial lockdown of the country or the economy. And the backlash is building from a weary public and restive MPs. Tomorrow, Boris Johnson will chair an emergency COBRA meeting with leaders and health officials from across the UK, as well as a meeting with his cabinet as he signs off a plan of action. He's decided he needs to do more to tackle the spread of this virus, but his plan will only work if he can get us all to follow it. Beth Rigby, Sky News, Westminster.